let's dive into the football frenzy. Brentford's Ivan Toney might be on sale for under £50 million. Could you guys imagine that? Brentford are willing to reduce the price tag on Ivan Toney, who is a very good forward and has been banging goals for Brentford, and they're willing to reduce his price tag to under £50 million, guys. That's so good for clubs that might be interested in him, including Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea, and among other clubs. United have rejected a bid for £40 million for Scott McTominay, a bid which was placed by Fulham, and as I understand, Fulham are preparing to bid again for the midfielder Scott McTominay. Now, I think my evaluation of Scott McTominay could be around 40 million as Fulham had evaluated it, but of course I do not own the club, not the players, so only the club knows. Yeah, guys. Meanwhile, United have reportedly agreed personal terms with Manuel Ugarte. This is quite a mad window for Manchester United. I mean, they have managed to secure two signings in a week, something that has never happened at that club in quite a long time. So whatever they're saying about Man United, moving differently in this transfer market, that is so true, because this has never happened before. A lot of people don't even recognize Manchester United anymore. Yeah, the rival fans are getting mad. They're getting heated because of how quickly Man United is moving in the transfer market this season. Chelsea could cash in a cool €1 million if Graham Potter becomes England's next manager. I understand that is part of the contract that he had signed with Chelsea, that Chelsea could get €1 million if Graham Potter becomes the next England manager after Gareth Southgate stepped down and rather resigned from the England managerial job after his loss in the Euro 2024 final to Spain. Spain have been fantastic in the UEFA Euro 2024, having their youngsters dominating performances and giving us a show. I mean, those who watch Spain and even the supporters of Spain would agree with me when I say that they have been the best team throughout the tournament. I mean, they managed to finish unbeaten, and they had they had very good dominant performances throughout the tournament, and it was a well-deserved cup for them, and this has not gone unnoticed by a lot of clubs, especially Barcelona, who are now trying hard to get the signing of Nico Williams Jr., who has been playing for another Spanish club called Athletic Club de Bilbao, as you would call it, and he has been sensational in the just concluded Euro 2024, and scoring goals. He scored a goal in the final, of course. Yeah, and he has been sensational for Spain and also for Athletic Club, and Barcelona are working hard to sign him. I understand they want Nico Williams Jr. to reunite with his fellow youngster Lamine Yamal, who also plays for Barcelona and who has also been sensational in the Spain team, having helped them beat France in the semi-finals. And yeah, it's quite an amazing era to watch. It's quite a new era for football, having to see 16 to 23 hours dominated the game, and yeah, it's quite an amazing thing to see. Everton's Jared Brantwaite is staying put despite United's interest. I understand Everton were going through a bit of a takeover, which has backfired, I would say, which has not gone through. The takeover that was going to happen by a certain organization, I do not remember its name, but it fell through, and the takeover is not going to happen. So Everton are in a bit of a financial crisis too, and having rejected two Man United bids for Jared Brantwaite, the English defender, young defender, I think right now it might be a good time to reconsider our offer. I mean, United are moving very smart in the market, because they didn't put a third bid yet for Jared Braithwaite, and now Everton have to consider the second bid that they had rejected for this youngster. Now, Jared Braithwaite is a very good defender. I mean, he has been managed by Rod van Nistelrooy at PSV, and has also been managed by Sean Dyche at Everton, and he has managed to produce quite good performances and average minimum of 6 out of 10 in performances throughout the last season. Good defensive record, is very strong in the air, is very good on the ball. He can play with both feet, and is quite a solid defender, and will be a great signing for any Premier League club or any other club. But Man United were the only club that were really interested, who had put their foot forward to try and sign the defender. So it would be an interesting one to watch. Amid still Manchester United having agreed personal terms with Manuel Ugarte, the Uruguayan midfielder who plays for PSG currently, and yeah, he's quite a good defensive midfielder. Yeah, he has a good tackling succession rate, and he knows how to retain the ball. He's good technically. He can pass. He can tackle. He can really put in a good tackle, and he has a good work rate. So it will be a good signing for Manchester United if Casemiro leaves, or when he leaves. Casemiro is just a matter of when, because as I see here, a lot of Saudi Arabian clubs are interested in him. Also, well, Scott McTominay, as I have said, Fulham are still in the race to sign Scott McTominay, so it will be an interesting one to see. Guys, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is eyeing an international comeback with his stellar performance in the Serie A with AC Milan. Now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek played in the 2018 World Cup, and I don't remember in the 2022, but he's a good midfielder, attacking player. Is very offensive. He's good technically. Yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek will be quite an interesting one to watch, and considering he had managed to put up a good number of performances with AC Milan last season. Yeah, alongside his former teammate at Chelsea, Christian Pulisic, and now he is aiming to return to the international team by, there's no other way in football. You just have to perform at the highest level, and that's how you get selected to your national team. Of course, guys, you cannot forget about Chelsea Football Club, who have been, I would say, the busiest in the Premier League. One of the busiest in the Premier League this summer. With the transfer window now open, and they are just signing players from all over the world, as I would say. They have already made several noteworthy signings, including Tosin on a free transfer from Fulham to replace the veteran Thiago Silva, who last season stated that it will be his last season for playing for Chelsea. And they managed to sign Tosin on a free from Fulham, and the arrival of Kieran Dewsbury-Hall from Leicester City on a fee of £35 million. Yep, Chelsea did manage to sign Tosin and Dewsbury-Hall early in the transfer market, and the Blues have also been active in bringing in a host of promising young talents, both for their own squad and with the intention of loaning them out to sister clubs. Typical Chelsea, they will sign players and take them out on loan, which is not a bad thing, because this helps develop the players and makes them ready to be in the first team, to be involved in the first team. I would say an example is Ian Madsen, who went on loan to Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund managed to reach in the final, Champions League final against Real Madrid. I mean, and many more players. Yeah, these signings that they have brought in, they include Omar Kellyman from Aston Villa, Estevao Willian from Palmeiras, Mark Guihu from Barcelona, and Renato Veiga, who will be arriving from Basel. Renato Veiga is a young centre-back who has had a good season with Basel, and also another player who will be arriving is Aaron Anselmino from Boca Juniors. These are two young, very talented defenders, and it's good to see that the youngsters are now being prepared to take over football. I love that for football, man. Chelsea Chelsea have been quite busy in the market. Despite these impressive moves, Chelsea are still looking to make some significant additions in attack. They have shown interest in John Duran, the Aston Villa player, though they are unlikely to pursue Danny Olmo. They already had shown interest in this star, Danny Olmo, and Nico Williams too. But that's quite unlikely to happen considering financial fair play rules and. Meanwhile, there's uncertainty surrounding the futures of several Chelsea players, among them the England midfielder Conor Gallagher, who has attracted interest from Tottenham, Aston Villa, and Atletico Madrid. Trevor Chalobah is also an uncertainty surrounding. There's also an uncertainty surrounding his time at the club, and also Armando Broja is also expected to depart at the club this summer. Now Chelsea have had are having quite a good transfer window, and typical Chelsea, they are gonna make many signings. They are gonna loan out most of these signings, and they already have some of the signings that I don't think managed to get the minutes that were required of them as a player. The likes of Christopher Nkunku, who, I mean, take nothing away from Christopher Nkunku, is an excellent player, but injuries have downed his playing time, and I can't wait to see him play at his full potential because he is quite an excellent player, and I know he will make a huge impact to Chelsea. Another one is Romeo Lavia, the signing from Manchester City. The midfielder hasn't also gotten quite the time he would have wanted to play for the club. But it will be exciting to see. I see all of Wesley Fofana, the likes of those players, young players who Chelsea had signed, but they managed to get minutes under their belt. So yeah, Chelsea is also a team to watch this coming season in the Premier League under their new coach Enzo Maresca, who had coached Leicester City last season in the Championship and won the Sky Bet Championship title to gain automatic promotion to the Premier League. So this is a manager who has won the Championship title with Leicester, promoting them to the Premier League, and now Chelsea have managed to secure his signing and his services as a manager at their football club. So Chelsea, watch out for Chelsea, guys. Now Arsenal are actively pursuing a younger striker profile to bolster their attacking options. The club has shown interest in Riccardo Calafiori, who is a centre-back, young centre-back, left-sided defensive role. Yeah. And also, although Arsenal haven't been quite active in the transfer market, considering they have been doing exceptionally well in the past 2 seasons, and their squad looks amazing. Their first 11, that is, and their only interest that we can see from the news is Riccardo Calafiori, the Italian centre-back who plays for Bologna. He's a left-footed centre-back, so he will be a good cover he'll provide a good cover for Gabriel. And additionally, amid uncertainty surrounding Thomas Partey's future, the Gunners are likely also to sign a new central midfielder. Yep, on the goalkeeping front, Arsenal are considering potential new backup options with the interest in Dan Bentley of Wolves and Tommy Setford of Ajax. However, the future of several French players such as Edin Ketia, Reece Nelson, and Emile Smith-Rowe remain uncertain and could impact the club's transfer activity. Arsenal are looking to offload quite a few of their players, including Emile Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, and Edin Ketia. Yeah, these are some of the youngsters that I think Arteta has made it clear that he wouldn't be needing their services too much, and considering we have seen all these guys play for the Premier League, we will know that they would do exceptionally well in other clubs, and which I would say would be a good move for them, considering there's no need to be a bench player if you know your potential, what you can achieve. Yeah, sometimes this is what happens in football. You might be holding on to a club that does not really see you as a crucial player for them, and you never know, you will just hold on to it because it's the club of your heart, or because you like the club, or whatnot. But the only best thing to do is just move on, and see how your career will change. I mean, a lot of players, there are examples of players who have managed to leave the club because of playing time and have gone somewhere else and have managed to be very important for the club they went to, and the club having to form a team around them. That's quite what it is. I mean, that's football. As you all know, Ipswich have been promoted to the Premier League, and Ipswich Town too are also on a mission to strengthen their squad and secure their Premier League survival for this upcoming season. Their focus is on bolstering every position, from a new goalkeeper to wingers and strikers. Retaining the services of the dynamic Omari Hutchinson on loan from Chelsea is a huge boost, but they've missed out on their next winger target, Jarden, who is set to return to Aston Villa. They had Ipswich Town had Omari Hutchinson on loan from Chelsea. Like I said, it's typical Chelsea. They just loan out a player and goes and becomes phenomenal for that club, and they end up signing for that club. So they have managed to retain Hutchinson, though on loan, which will be a good boost for them. And they've already addressed the right back needs with the signing of Ben Johnson from West Ham, and have brought the versatile Jacob Greaves from Hull City to show up the defense. The search for a reliable striker has led them to Liam Delap, secured in a £20 million deal from Manchester City. Liam Delap was a Manchester City project, and he has managed to sign for Ipswich Town for €20 million. Ipswich Town are leaving no stone unturned as they gear up for the Premier League season. This will be their debut Premier League season, I think. That's good for Ipswich Town. It will be an interesting one to watch. Ipswich Town, I mean, it will be their Premier League debut, and I'm hoping they do well, of course. But top flight football isn't easy. They're coming fresh from the Championship. I think they were in a playoff battle where they won, and now welcome to the Premier League, Ipswich Town. On to other news, guys. Leicester City are looking to strengthen their squad ahead of the upcoming season, with plans to sign a new left back, central midfielder, winger, and a striker. The club has already made some moves, bringing in winger Bobby Cordova-Reid from Fulham on a free transfer, and defender Caleb Okoli from Atalanta. Now, Leicester also were in the Championship last season. Like I said, they won the Championship title and gained automatic promotion to the Premier League. And like it is, Premier League is quite a tough league, and every club is bolstering their options and working hard to sign new players so that they can strengthen their squad and be prepared for the new season. Now, back to Leicester City. The Foxes have faced a setback in losing a key player in Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who was signed for Chelsea. And this is quite a blow they have taken, considering how crucial he was to the club last season, helping them achieve promotion to the Premier League. And he's quite a decent midfielder, and Chelsea have managed to swoop up under their noses and sign the player. To replace him, Leicester are prioritizing the signing of a new central midfielder, a well-suited young talent like Michael Golding. I don't know who Michael Golding is, brought in from Chelsea, of course. Will need more time to develop. So Michael Golding is one of the central midfielders that Leicester are looking for or are prioritizing to sign, and he is a central midfielder from Chelsea. I haven't never heard of that player, but of course he'll need more time to develop. Money is still tight for Leicester, limiting their ability to make major signings, but the club will look to be strategic in recruitment, targeting players who can slot into the team and make an immediate impact. With new manager Steve Cooper now in place, Leicester may also have some new ideas and priorities for the squad, and that could shape their transfer activity in the final weeks of the window. So Leicester will also be an interesting one to watch. On to Liverpool. Liverpool's transfer focus this summer appears to be centered around strengthening the midfield following the departure of Thiago Alcantara. Thiago Alcantara has retired from professional football and immediately joined Barcelona staff, working under Hansi Flick as his assistant. I know, as I understand, I don't know whether he's assistant really or is just part of the staff, but his football His playing days are over, but his footballing days, I would say, are not quite over because he's still focused on football and he has gone back to Barcelona to try to help Barcelona. Now, despite the exits of Thiago and Joel Matip, the club views the centre back and forward positions as less of a priority right now. They made an attempt to sign Anthony Gordon from Newcastle, but the deal did not progress. Looking ahead, Liverpool will need to work on securing the long-term futures of some of their key players from Jurgen Klopp era, including Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Virgil van Dijk. From what I understand, Mohamed Salah has gotten a lot of interest from Saudi clubs who are trying to get his signature. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was considered a move to Spanish giants Real Madrid, and Virgil van Dijk, who also is questioning about the future of the club and under the new manager Anslot, and would like to know where the club is heading so that he will be able to make a choice on his future. Tying down these influential figures, the likes of Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Virgil van Dijk will be crucial as the club transitions into a new era under manager Anslot and the new recruitment setup led by Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. Interesting one to see, guys. Liverpool also haven't been quite active in the transfer market, but they will also be an interesting team to watch, guys. So watch out for Liverpool.